I love college. I didn't think I was going to love college as much as I do, but I really love it. And I encourage anyone to try. I know money's always just like the forefront of a lot of thoughts, but I mean, in the end, I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and it's very bright and beautiful.
Welcome, Lily, one of my biology students. How's your day and semester going?
Good, real good.
Nice.
Very good. Just got out of my micro lab.
Yeah, learning anything fun?
Metabolism.
That is fun. That's the best part.
Will be once I get it.
See, even this takes us to our pathophysiology class, which we're in right now, where it basically is like if the cells go down, which organelle is actually dying? Mitochondria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, one of these times I'm going to do the show and I'm going to be like, solve this Punnett square or something. No. Solve this multiple square. That'd be speaking of perf, yeah, that'd be perfect. It'd be the most evil thing on the planet.
I'd probably just leave.
Yeah, just pick up.
I'd be like, ask somebody else.
So tell us a little bit about like when you were in high school, what was your like kind of goal for college, your conception of it, and how did that change between then and now, let's say?
Okay. So it wasn't really till my senior year when I started liking like biology. I took biology freshman year, forgot about it. And then I took AP bio, and we got the cool opportunity to go to the Hormel R&D building, which was like food science, like not exactly my niche, but it was still super cool. And so applying to college, I knew I either wanted to go like a literature route.
Really?
Like,
you never told me that.
I loved...
That's good.
Yeah, I loved
talk.
reading. I loved writing. I'm good at writing, and I'll say that too.
Your handwriting is very specific. We're going to put a sample in the show notes.
My note
good.
sheet?
It was good.
No one can read my note sheet.
That's
For the
true,
last
though,
patho exam, Beth like looked at me. I think she started crying.
Oh my God.
She's like, oh my gosh, what is that?
What is this? Just like chicken scratch to like, it's like Da Vinci Code, basically.
Yeah, it's my own language.
It's perfect. See, that's good.
Yeah, no one's cheating off of me ever.
That's a good point, yeah.
But yeah, so then I found the Rise Bio Scholarship, applied for it, applied to the school, got in, and now I'm here.
Nice. Yeah, and I mean, you'll be the third one who's been in the Rise Bio program that we've interviewed. Tell everybody a little bit about that, even though, like, yeah, I can just do the basics because I have made Sarah and Emma, like, sort of talk about it.
Right, yeah.
But then I'm going to take your special stream, basically.
Right, yeah. So it was, at the time I started, it was the two streams, the, like, brain and behavior, and then the plant one. And I said, oh, I don't really know what I want to do. I was like, just throw me in whatever you need the extra person in.
Yeah.
And they threw me in the plant one, which was still, like, it wasn't exactly super interesting to me, but I still learned, like, so much.
Don't shit on plants.
Right,
I love plants.
They're so
Come
important.
On. Look at the little owl. It's so sad.
You're so important and valid.
I don't know what plant this is. Grows like a weed, though, and it survives my office.
It looks like a spider something. Maybe.
You know more than me at this point.
Ugh.
Okay, anyway, and this is actually a tough one because you're, again, like, you also wanted to do science in general, and you want to do cancer research. What were the main like translations that you would say that you did learn in the plant side of it? And like I said, like it didn't have to be pure plant stuff, but what were you like, oh dang, this actually applies as well? Because a lot of people go through that intro bio and they're like, oh no, plant time.
Right, yeah. And like that's what people always gave me like a weird look when I said I was like in the plant stream, which is so like wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong. Because it was like really actually interesting. And I learned it's a lot of stats.
Oh yeah.
It's like a lot of math. I wasn't expecting that. But like I learned so many techniques. Like pipetting was great. Mm-hmm. We did a whole bunch of stuff with a bunch of like chemicals in the hood too, which was like I'd never like really spent a lot of time in like a safety cabinet sort of. So that was super interesting too. And then the whole like making a poster, presenting, and then the first semester, I had one lab partner. Shout out Savannah. And then the second semester, we inherited another lab member.
That's awesome.
Shout out Kaylee. So, like navigating that to like lab partners, like distributing like equal work levels, that stuff too. And then like all the professional stuff too. I really, what's the word I'm looking for? Appreciated it.
Yeah, and I mean, I would master's is a strong word, but I have said it to the other two Rise students, like you all come in like with the skills that you were building. The translation that you did just share with us is that like you kind of became an ultra adult in the first year, which sometimes takes some students a year and a half. Like it took me at Carleton, for example, or it takes some people longer, which is fine.
Yeah.
But having that network, especially in a larger school, makes it pretty easy to like navigate like the rest of the major, I'd say.
It's also like so individualized. Like there were only like 8 of us there.
Yeah.
So like when you're in like a biology lab with like 30 other kids, like you're not getting like specific like nurturing, I'd call it, that like I feel I got at Rise Bio.
Right. And the neat thing is like, even I remember when I was, my wife worked at Lincoln, Nebraska, and there was like a pretty large honors program. And it was almost like it mimics the Rise stream, where it was kind of like you take this version of biology, you take this version of genetics, you do this thing. And it was always like a group of like 20 or so.
Right.
So I always sort of romanticized that. Although like if I would have gone to like Colorado State with my friends, I probably would have saved some money. But I don't know. I don't know if I trust myself when I was a freshman in college to like make the right choices.
Right. Yeah. And that's something I struggle with. I'm so like indecisive and so like I have to.
Not to me.
I am so like what to wear in the morning. Hours.
You should do Steve Jobs. Just do like same thing.
No, I could never. I have too many clothes for that.
Too many choices. Yeah.
No, but like what I want to do when I grow up and like what classes I want to take next semester and all that stuff. I'm just like, I don't know yet.
But it figures itself out.
Always does.
You wouldn't call yourself a procrastinator, would you?
Not so much anymore.
Okay.
I'm trying to like break my bad habits. And I've been doing good at that too. But no, I'm done procrastinating because I felt like crap.
Oh.
Like always.
Like that stress level would come up so high in those moments that it wasn't worth it, basically.
Yes. Yeah. It wasn't worth like all the rest and relaxation like that I spent prior to the thing. So I'm like rewiring my brain into not procrastinating.
Same. I mean, and I've told you all in class, like I took the personality test. I'm like, I'm 52% a type A person, 48% a type B. So I'm in a constant struggle.
Yeah.
Like even today's show, I was like, oh, let's just wing it. And I was like, no, plan. Because I do have to force myself to have that organization level. Otherwise, I'll completely fall under. Ugh.
Yeah.
But no, tell them more about, because like Sarah also mentioned like how her like level literature like kind of helps to can still happen in science. What are some of your favorite books that like, or like how do you still like try that even though you're a bio major now? Do you take classes here or just do it on your own?
Right. Well, I have that Sapiens book.
Oh yeah.
I noticed. I love like reading what my friends would call boring things.
Oh.
Yeah. Terrible.
Very
you guys
bad.
are terrible. No, but I'm reading right now like a little, I wouldn't call it a book. I think it's more of an article about like willful ignorance. And like I just pick up on things and then I'm like, oh, I want to read that. I want to read more about that.
Go more into it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like a psych society. Yeah. And like sounds like you bounce around to whatever is like what you want to do. And does that factor in with the choices issue?
Yes.
How many times you put down a book, like next one?
Yeah. And it's so bad. And do you know that Sylvia Plath poem, The Fig?
Maybe.
And it's like she wants to be every fig on the tree, but by the time she picks one, they're all dead.
Dang it. That's
like,
good.
Gosh.
That's a good way to put it.
Like she knows me so well.
How would you communicate that to like, incoming college students? And also one of the bigger audiences on this is actually probably the parents that they're like, hey, like, what is this about? How would you communicate that to them to like, how did you sort of like find the fig that you would use, for example?
Right. I just like any opportunity that's given to me, I take it.
Okay.
And then if I hate it, I'll stop.
That's good.
And it's just that simple.
Yeah. Just
or like
dive into stuff and just go for it.
Yeah. I just go for it. And then if I don't like it, I keep trying for a while. And then if I really don't like it, I'm like, okay, this isn't taking me anywhere.
Yeah, and that's good because that is a distinction that is hard to make because like me as a prof, I'm always very like, yeah, don't give up, don't do this, like resilience, hooray, up to a point until, this is not like the vibe for me. This is like not what I like doing. That's a good piece that I haven't actually said on the show. Your major should be easy. it should be so fun that you load up the slides and you're like, I can't wait for this to happen. And if it's not, it's okay not to be a bio major. It's okay not to be, I'm trying to think. It's okay not to be a psych major if you don't like it. It's okay not to be an English major if you don't like it, for example.
Yes.
And I think there was always a lot of pressure I think sometimes they can feel there's pressure for certain majors to happen. I mean, we definitely feel that in biology a little bit, where it's like I've had students be like, well, I really don't like the major. And I was like, well, there's a ton actually that you can choose.
Right. Yeah. And I get it. And like, I know money is always like something people think about when like they go to college and want a job, like what pays good. I'm like, but I don't need to make 6 figures if I don't want to stop working.
Yeah. And you kind of hit the nail on the head for me, how I felt with this job, because I guess I've never broadcast this, but before this job, I was in talks with a company that probably would have been about $250,000 a year or something for it was like a pharma startup essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I really like this job, and a lot of the professors really do too. And so I think finding the ones that are like kind of a little active, even if we do kind of push sometimes a little bit,
right.
Demand excellence. Yeah, I think the environment's still there for everything. Given to one of the other things that we kind of talk about on the show is, what are some of the pieces of college that you've kind of taken away from besides the content? And this is from I think it's called Diary of a CEO, and he had Simon Sinek on it. He's like kind of the speaker guy. And he was saying like the core importance of some of the college stuff is like human skills, the ability to have a tough conversation, the ability to organize, the ability to have a discussion, basically. What are like some examples that you would share with people that you're like, hey, like I had these opportunities kind of?
Right. Yeah. I think especially in the lab when you're working with like lab partners and stuff, like being able to communicate is just the most important thing, I think. Like you can be the smartest person in the world, but if you can't like tell me what you want me to do or like explain what you're doing, then it doesn't mean as much. And I think like, especially in the science, like scheme of things, there are just so many different people and so many different types of people. And it's important to be able to communicate with a bunch of different people. Like, right. And also asking for help. Yeah. That's something I have struggled with forever. And coming to college, I'm just like, well, I don't want to, number one, I don't want to pay to like struggle and fail because I didn't ask for help. And number two, I want to be good at something. So like, let's take progressive steps to be good at something.
Right. But no, you're fighting a battle that is one of those toughest ones in college. Because yeah, I mean, I never asked for help at Carleton. And I was at a place that you're supposed to go see the professor because it's a tiny school. But until finally a year and a half in, I was like, okay, I'm done letting this keep happening to me. So you at least jumped the gun on things, and like with Rise, you kind of had a network too. Whether you knew it or not, we all knew you guys, and like kind of knew that like, okay, if they're in Rise, they know the basic like the game, the grid, the department. But no, that's a real struggle, is like, I have a lot of people that is like, I've never gone to an office hour. I'm like just terrified of everybody until today. And I'm like, oh dang, like that's good. But I do it makes me remember when I just never went in to get any help or anything. Because I did want to be like, I did it, this. But you can't do everything alone.
No, absolutely not.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, just the teamwork side of things, the ability to, like you said, to communicate in a team. It's probably one of the human skills, like Sinek said in that podcast, that the AI can't truly ever reflect on in the same way.
Right.
But have you loaded up the AI for any help or brainstorming fun?
Yes, I have.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So have I.
Yeah. Nothing like it's not doing my classes for me. Right. Like I won't let it.
That's true too. And that's going to be the thing, is like, we'll have to help students realize, like we all have to, and grow through it. It's like, I need to, like on the other side of this, I can't ask for help even from the bot.
Yeah.
Because the bot is fun, and it's starting to get to know me pretty well, and I like it. But then I'm like, oh, right. It's not a lie.
It knows me.
But I do want to be polite if it takes over.
I always say please.
I know.
And I always say thank you.
I wonder if Sam Altman's on the other side being like, yeah, this guy seems chill.
Yeah. Put him on the nice list.
Yeah, put the algo higher for this guy.
Yeah, please.
given that, yeah, I mean, you're in 2 years, cancer research is like kind of the plan. We're doing cancer research and it's a fun time and we have a good team rolling here. So I'm super excited to have you on the team regardless. With everything, trying to think, do you want to add, how do you want to do cancer research? Are you going more the master's PhD route or would you want to try the startup route or something like that?
I think I want to stick to like academia, like master's PH. And I don't think I want to be like a PI or anything. I think I want to do like bench work.
Yeah.
Mainly. And like it'd be great like being in charge and like deciding what I research and like when and how and where and why. But I just love like bench work.
Okay. Hey, and it's fun and the AI is never going to take that job away.
Exactly. And like I get that I'm young and like everything's like new and exciting. And like people have been like, oh, like you can do this, like it's so boring and tedious because they're like they've done it for like 20 years and I'm like, okay, great. That's like good. I'll do it.
And there's still room for growth no matter what. And always. I think I shared this story about the scientist, the pure scientist that I worked with at UNMC in one of the labs I joined, and she was like the ultra badass. Yes. I don't think Dr. Alyssa Buseka is gonna watch this. She's too busy being like publishing and doing cool shit.
Being a badass, yeah.
Yeah, but I remember there was a moment in lab, somebody was asking her like, "Are you like a postdoc or a grad student?" She's like, "Just scientist is fine." And I was like, "Oh!" I was like, it was like such a Rosalind Franklin vibe, and I was like, badass. And I was just, she was always really kind to me, but I was always just like a little like mouse. I was like, Dr. Buseka, please, could you help? She's like, you can call me Alyssa Keenan. I was like, thanks, help me with this. She was wonderful though, and like she definitely like helped keep that lab rolling together. And she also trained a lot of their students too on the side, and so the teaching side of things was always still there for her. And huge respect and like cool reflection on that side of it. Speaking of academia, what are any misconceptions that like you think you came with, or do you think that like the world still has about like what we're up to here for 4 years essentially? That's another role of this show essentially.
Right. You don't have to be like inherently like a genius to like even do like STEM. I was a gifted child. I'll say it. I was in the gifted courses and all that jazz for sure. But I like failed my sophomore year of high school. Like failed sophomore year of high school. It was COVID. I
was gonna ask what happened, and then I was like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah, but I was like, no, like I'm not doing that. But I bounced back, and you can always bounce back. But misconception. I'm trying to think.
Yeah. It's hard to think of them because we come here every day. And
I know.
It's
I'm like
a little. I mean, just describe a normal day. Most people don't know what we do.
Right. Like describe my normal day.
I mean, you show up to class, you study, you do
I show up to
do
class.
the research.
Yeah, and I always find time to do like not only what I want to do academics wise, but what my soul wants to do.
Yeah. Watch
movies.
That's good.
Bad movies.
We'll talk. What did you latestly watch?
Dolphin Tale.
The hell is what? It's a cartoon. It's
what?
No. It's some bad
Morgan Freeman's on it. Hello. It's based on a true story. I just bought it on DVD for $1.
I'd pull my phone out if it wasn't the camera. What is this thing?
No, it's about this dolphin. So this little boy found this dolphin on the shore and her tail was messed up. And so he brought her to like this aquarium that like rehabilitates animals. And they had to cut off her tail. Oh. And then Morgan Freeman builds her a prosthetic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very uplifting.
Yeah, it's precious. There's a number 2. It's great.
I don't like happy movies. I like grim movies where the ending's evil.
Oh.
Like in class and genetics, what I did to you guys. Like at the end of Endgame, it's like, I think he just won. That's how I felt. No,
heart-wrenching.
We're good. Regardless, though, I think we'll run this back again one more time because we got more fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, essentially, if there's anything else, what would you share about, what higher ed means to you, anything like that, or like what you would share with your younger self, anything like that either. But we'll end on that.
That's such a great, my younger self. Love her. No, but I love college. I didn't think I was going to love college as much as I do, but I really love it. And I encourage anyone to try. I know money's always just like the forefront of a lot of thoughts, but I mean, in the end, I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and it's very bright and beautiful. And I love it.
Nice. Dang, and that like really circles back to you're just like, try stuff, try anything.
Yeah, try.
Like from Zootopia.
Yeah, and I get mad when people complain and then they don't do anything about it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that goes into some psych. Complaining's a tough habit. The way that I stopped complaining as much, because I made it a habit for a while, was if you complain about something and you can't change it, stop complaining. If you complain about something, make a plan.
Yes.
And then do it. And then you can complain all about it if you want, if you're executing the plan.
Yeah.
So
complain while you work on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless, you're insightful beyond your age, Lily. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you.
So, microbiology, everybody's favorite. Metabolism, everybody's favorite. Okay, I've always thought of doing a